we'll go from there, and I'll bring up stuff that's coming up as we go in both areas or both live streams. So anyway, thank you for that. So everybody, good evening and welcome to the Truth Tribe. I'm Dawn Thompson, and thank you guys for being here. Remember that you are all perfect exactly where you are right now in this now moment, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. I love you. Remember that too. And oh, happy Valentine's Day. Remember, I just told you all at the beginning, there is my I sent you all a Valentine tomorrow, so you'll see it on Instagram. But tomorrow's my favorite day of the year. And so let's talk about heart energy and the frequency of joy. That's what we're going to do tonight. Okay. So this is a triggering topic, you guys, for what more because it's misunderstood. Okay. So we're just going to dive right in. I'm going to go straight to the topic tonight, straight to the heart of it. And we're talking about hearts. Okay. So the topic is trigger happy is not heart happy. Okay. What does that mean? Well, I see a lot of people daily from all kinds of, they're getting triggered all the time. Okay. And they're getting triggered from all kinds of topics. And a lot of these topics might be something that flares you up, from Trump to government, to extreme pedophilia and trafficking, to flat earth, round earth, to the jab, to pharma ads, to health, wellness, organic food, or vegan food, or meat eaters, or energy healing, to relationship reality resistance, resisting our relationships. And then my favorite topic on the table right now are the UFOs floating around in balloons in the sky. Okay. I hope tonight you guys can listen to me from an open-minded perspective, okay? I hope you understand one thing about yourself tonight, which is observing, okay? If you are trigger happy in any area, and I just gave you the short list, okay? If you are trigger happy, your soul is not happy. It's that simple, okay? Which is your heart and soul, yeah? So people are walking around with, like, basically, y'all remember Staples, the big red easy button right here. Y'all walking around with big red easy buttons ready to be pushed at any time, and people everywhere on all topics. Okay. And when you have many buttons that are able to be pushed, guess what? The universe will bless you with people, and especially like close, intimate people, to enter into this. Remember, you've got an etheric field, an etheric bubble. Okay. You have an etheric energy field. The universe is going to send and initiate people and bless them into your presence, right? Into your etheric field, until you learn to dissolve your trigger buttons. So you might have them all over, right? And they are your healers, which is hilarious to me, right? So, and most would say, not a chance, they're not healing me. And so I'm calling you out on your trigger bullshit, because that's what it is, okay? So, and it could be in just a relationship in general. You are basically, guys, I want you to think of it this way, as a computer with a keyboard, like a laptop or something, with full of buttons, unable to function as soon as someone comes along and starts typing on your keyboard with new codes of love. Because that's what it is. People want us to grow. We're like, no, I got a certain way to think and be and act, right? So this is ego, and ego is a slave to its old programming, and its programming, as I like to refer to it, is your safe zone. Okay. Even if your programming is unhealthy love in every relationship of your life, and you grew up in a shit, tough, rough lifestyle as a child and growing up, even if that's it, that's your programming. So when I refer to relationships, I mean everything in your reality that you're in a relationship with. You're in a relationship with your health, with your wealth, with your body, with your career, with your joy, with your sadness, with fun, with people who tell you to be miserable if you're not following their program as well, right? If you're not doing what I tell you, if you're not doing it the way we said, if you're not miserable because of this, right? etc., etc., etc. So if you learned unhealthy love in any area of your life when you were growing up, you will attract that version of love to give you comfort. Again, negative even counts. So whether it's a shit show illusion of love or not, you're going to bring it in. The universe is going, push the button, get them to grow, push their buttons. Your ego computer program knows only one way. An ego will win until your heart becomes the master programmer, not your head. Things, thoughts, truth. Truth is your heart. Okay, so what does letting go really mean, right? What does dissolving the buttons, the trigger buttons really mean? Dissolving your old programs and belief systems that cause habitual actions and reactions to people, okay? You become simply the observer, not the absorber, okay? You waste a lot less energy and you maintain more power and more light. Living from your heart is truth consciousness, and it's where your power lies. Now, this is where the big stuff comes in. Let's discuss science, spirit, and the Aquarius convergence. This is what's been happening in the last 2 weeks. And so people are feeling it and you don't know what the hell's going on. And I keep reminding you, you aren't going back there. So in order to fully heal, okay, whatever you're healing, your relationships, your body, your health, your triggers, your sadness, your anger, depression, whatever it is, okay? In order to fully heal ourselves, we must choose to live again, because healing is sick and dying. So you have to choose living. Okay, guys, say this out loud to yourself, please, right now. In order for me to fully heal, okay, I must commit to live. So choosing the love frequency over death. Death occurs when our heart stops beating or when it's a low current flowing through it, lacking life force energy, right? Does that make sense? Hey, anybody on Facebook, if you are on Facebook, just throw me a wave in there because I can see it going in and out. I just want to make sure. Sorry about the interruption. So if you're lacking life force energy that has to flow through your heart, right, which flows through your veins, so the heart is pumping life force energy through your veins. So energetically, you guys, you need to open your mind here. It is no shocker right now that we are being asked on the planet, the whole planet's discussing this, okay? You ready? To discuss blood issues, blood clotting issues, and heart attacks all day long. That's what people are talking about, okay? Blood, I'm gonna go energetically on this, all of you, okay? All right, blood represents life force plasma. Your plasma is what they pull out when you go to the blood bank. Life force plasma is carrying joy, and the heart rules love. So if our blood is a mess, it's not full of joy. If our heart is a mess, it can't pump out more love. Okay, so in order to get us living and open to life force energy, we need to discuss these two things: how to heal blood and how to heal hearts. Okay. As I've told you all for the last several years, we've been in an emotional poverty, emotional and spiritual poverty, right? Spiritual and emotional poverty is in your heart. So the fact that I'm going to go here because I'm calling it the jab, so we're on live Facebook, so I'm sure I'll get censored. But anyway, the fact that the jab is a huge trigger topic at the moment. The fact that it is interfering with our heart function, and so many people right now are in their heads of denial while still observing, like you're like, no, can't be that, it can't be that, it can't be that. But you're observing an unprecedented amount of heart attacks, disease and inflammation, and even death that should be a huge awakening for everyone on the planet. Okay? So simply asking a question of yourself and everyone around you, just in your thought, why anyone would be willing to deliver you something that hinders heart function is a huge energy red flag. Huge, okay? So the planet is being given, the whole planet, you guys, because remember, we're in a collective awakening, and you cannot awaken if you are missing spirit and truth and heart energy. So we have to awaken the heart. It's kind of basic, right? So the planet's been given this opportunity to choose to expand our hearts, or literally get them blocked from emitting love. Okay, so The science has proven it to be true. There's science out there proving that the jab is starting to all go. There's spike proteins, we'll just say heavy metals, that accumulate in your blood and in your heart. Okay. Not everyone's, just a lot of them. Okay. There's science. I can send it to you or not send it to you. I don't care. I really don't care about this part. This part I'm just giving you. The science has been there. It's now proven true that this is happening. Energy is blocking your blood and your heart. Yet we want to so desperately, you guys, to believe that anyone, no one out there wouldn't possibly hurt our hearts. We question it with everyone and everything, but we can't question that. Okay, so this is a you choice to live from your hearts and not your heads, and to power up as much frequency as possible to make your heart your ship captain from now on, not your head going, but they're saying this is good for me, but it's not her, it's not good for my heart. You have to let go of the head thinking. So I'm not giving you an anti-jab discussion tonight. That's not what this is. I'm giving you an awakening discussion. Why the fuck would someone want to block your heart's ability to admit its frequency? I need you to think about this right now tonight. Why would anyone want to do that? Government, which is crumbling. I already told you, government's dead. It's just fake what you're watching on TV. And I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying this is a fact. And it is the biggest truth on the table for awakening. Okay. Why is this thing that you're getting being pushed on humanity to lessen your personal power, which is in your heart? Okay. Because those who took it now are starting to get freaked out and wondering, what do I do? You're afraid to say it. So I'm saying it for you. You can lessen the effects if you did take it and you're having some symptoms. A lot of people are. Millions upon millions are, and millions have died from it. Okay. So I'm trying to bring you up to the speed of, and I'm only using one thing about heart and blood. Okay. Can you lessen its effects that if you took it? Absolutely. We'll discuss that later. Every choice you make has a new choice that can obliterate the unwanted action. So if you did it, you're like, oh my God, I don't know if I want to do that. I want my heart to be open, not blocked. There is no right or wrong choice. It's simply a now choice of where your heart is and how much power you want to allow in it, period. And some people are going to fight it. Why? Because it's triggering. My friends, you need to listen to this. The heart's electric, okay? They shock you back awake, back alive if your heart stops beating, right? Your heart's electric field is about 60 times greater in amplitude than the electrical activity generated by the brain. And it can be measured in an ECG, an electrocardiogram, okay, or science, call it, okay? So we have science to measure the brightness, the power, the electric field that comes out of your heart. You can feel it, okay? So we can put a little electrode on you and go, oh my gosh, your heart. So science says your heart is more powerful than your entire body's energy, and it holds the power of life or death. Yet you still give your heart's power away to others who don't have your heart's best interest. Energetically. They don't want you to thrive here, because if you do, you don't need them. Okay. And so spirit, my friends, is in your heart. It's not in your head. So if we are in a spiritual, emotional poverty, that's wonderful, because you won't do what the fuck you want. If you're in your head, you're doing what you're told. Truth now is moving. I've taught you guys all this for the last couple of years. We're moving into the Aquarian frequency, and I'm talking more about that in the planetary update. But the truth is Aquarius energy. And truth frequency, which is in your heart always, your heart always speaks truth. Frequency cannot lie. So there is no manipulation of this truth. Has it been manipulated? Yes, but it's not gone. Okay, so living in truth, space energy, truth space of your heart, is a new experience for most people, right? And your heart has been unappreciated for the power source forever. I mean, ever and ever and ever. Okay, this is new. So most people are like, why would the jab go after our hearts and our blood systems? Because those who aren't good and aren't kind, there are a lot of them out there, and you need to own that. don't want you to have power, because if you do, you don't need them, because you're all badass power. So anything that is getting your heart, now let's go the other direction of frequency. That was the weighted aspect. Anything that's getting your heart to act up or focus on it or talk about it or think about it, even bad things, the more energy we talk about heart and blood, if your heart or blood is the topic, is activating truth, and it's activating your truth. So the more you talk about healing your heart, finding topics about your heart. Oh my God, this thing is affecting people's hearts. We're talking about heart, which we have been, right, in spiritual and emotional poverty up to this point, and now it's awake. Yeah, says Dawn. You guys, listen to this. You are more than a victim of wounds and suffering. You know this. I've taught you this 1,000 times. So anytime that you get triggered, okay, the buttons, your buttons are getting pushed, you are accepting what was and not what you are activating an intention in your heart right now. That's what it was. Yes, I agree. You were told how to live and function from your mind and things for so long. Things and thoughts were the boss. It's gone. It's old. You cannot bring the past with you. It is gone. You cannot do it. So you can only acknowledge if the past is a memory you're accepting as reality now. You're like, I remember, but it's not reality now. Okay. So instead of the power in your heart growing now, that's what you want. So I want you to literally look at your actions from this point forward to see if you are repeating a past frequency or not. Are you still living at 6 when the trauma happened? Now. Are you still repeating a past that is gone? Now. That's blocking your heart. That is your moment when you say, whoa, I see it. Oh, fuck that. I'm not doing it. So let's talk more Aquarius and spirit. Truth and spirit. Aquarius rules tech, and soul is spirit. Tech and soul evolution. Self-help, my friends, is going to get sour without your soul. I'm not telling you. I think AI and future and science and technology is amazing. It's going to take us to new levels you can't even comprehend, especially in healing. So there will be things to come and heal your heart fast like that. But you can't see it yet because you're not open to even receiving it, because you don't think you deserve love because you have been numbed out. So if your soul is unhappy, your heart is not empowered, period. And you are not empowered. The world has told you that intuition and astrology and psychic abilities aren't real. You all know that. You know how I know? Because the last 40 years, I've been told you're weird, you're woo-woo, you're stupid, you don't know what you're doing. And then now everybody's coming to me and going, what's happening, Don? I'm telling you, your heart was shut down. And then some very bad people and people that were not in your highest good for your heart said, we need to shut down their power source, or else we're going to be in trouble and we're going to lose. They lost. Okay. The control, the box is lost. All of the list I gave you. Okay. So all these intuitive astrology, your psychic abilities, right? That's not real, which you all have, by the way. You are all psychic. You're all intuitive. And instead, the boxes put you all through years of indoctrination so that you grew up a good little worker and you trusted the experts who are not living from their hearts, but their egos and their heads. And I'm here to tell you all, it's time to awaken to your internal spiritual warrior powers. It's time to wake the fuck up, my friends. Now you're all going, okay, Dawn, okay, D, I got it. What do I do? This sounds airy-fairy, right? I still have to pay my bills. I still have to fix my body that's in pain. I still have to get along with other people, including my spouse and people out there who I don't like because I was told that I'm supposed to be mad at them by some external box, right? My heart is not going to get the job done for that. My heart's not going to just think it and it's going to happen. That's what's happening, right? I know. I need to follow the wizards, but they're all crumbling too. So we're like, what do we do? Because I need to provide money so I can go get medications and not get into arguments and ignore toxins that are socially acceptable. This is what everyone's doing. But this is us thinking like, I need you to think like this, but I need you to go, So she wants me to do this from my heart? Yeah. Why? Because you're thinking none of this shit's working and I'm not living. I am fucking miserable. I am so confused. I get it. Now you know why. Because you have been programmed to avoid your heart for so long, and you were correct. So it's easy to get triggered when you are encouraged to say no to nonsense, because you're like, that's shit, that's nonsense, but that's not what everybody's they're telling me not to say no, because it's not acceptable to use your heart and your intuition and your energy field to determine what kind of life you want to live. Right? This sounds like nonsense for sure to anybody. You are now being given an open door to reprogram your electric computer to your heart and not your head for instructions. Your spirit, you guys need to understand, it wants to assist you, but you must want it. And you know, I believe in simplification of in every way, right? So from now on, I want you to start simply asking your heart, A, does this experience give me power or drain me? Does this experience scare the fuck out of me, or I totally trust it and I'm just going to go with it and it wakes me up? B, if I'm being triggered, is this asking me to wipe out a program belief system I don't even know is a program in me? If it's triggering you, it's a program. So living in your heart frequency, these are the 4 tips I want you to follow. Okay. 1, triggering is a weak heart. If you're getting triggered, your heart is weak energetically. Okay. Due to only having thoughts and things as being real, and we still haven't tapped into that truth of heart frequency, of spirit. Okay. And it's not woo woo. Your heart has more power than anything else. So it's got to feel, you got to feel how powerful it is. Okay. Number 2, your heart is truth. What does my heart want? And honestly, all you got to do is ask yourself, what does my heart want? Ask, if my heart was activating love to this situation that's triggering you, I would want what instead, right? Shine what I want to happen. Number 3, are you observing? How do you know if it's your heart or head are winning? How do you know? Heart is observing and allowing, head is triggering and reactive. So you're always in your head if you're triggering and you're reacting to something, like those balloons in the sky. Oh my God. Guys, we have the most advanced satellite, aerospace, technology in the world, and you're worried about a balloon. You've got to get bigger than this and go, am I reacting to something that is old? Can you sit and just watch? I told you it'll happen for 8 weeks. It's going to dwindle down. It's going to turn into something else. Always. It's just getting you awake. Why? Because is your heart scared or not? Is your heart scared or not? Is your heart in fear or not? It's asking everything you see that's fearful. It's asking you. It's asking you these 3 things. Triggering is a weak heart. Your heart wants to speak the truth. And number 3, can you just observe without getting triggered? Can you just sit and watch? So on Valentine's Day, for Valentine's Day, this is your jumping off point. Will you expand the love from your heart and live with love, or will you stay triggered from others who are messengers of broken hearts? They're messengers to come and show you your broken heart. So I want you to start with, I love you to them, and then to yourself in the mirror. You don't have to speak it. But if someone's triggering you, guys, that means they're trying to get you awake. Your energy is sending this out to the universe to go, open your heart, because it's shut down. You're way too triggered to this emotional power. And this is hard for people to wrap their brain around. Our heart frequency is love. Our heart pumps blood. Energetically, you can go Google, what is the frequency? What's the spiritual frequency of blood? It's joy. Blood represents joy. And those who have a lot of blood issues and blood difficulties and blood issues in their body or heart issues have lack of joy. Okay, does this make sense to you guys? If you don't connect energy, you think it's just about a poke and people are hurting your feelings. The more you talk about heart and the more you talk about blood and love, the more what happens, even if it's negative talk. It brings more energy into heart space, into love space, and we become a more loving collective consciousness. So I don't care who you're talking about, even if you talk negative about them, the more collective talks about something you don't want, but it's a topic that is of love and joy, nobody's bringing that up, right? They're not bringing up that blood and heart represents those two frequencies, but it does. So I'm here to break the news to you all that that's what's happening, which is pretty cool on my end, because when I'm watching, I'm like, oh, thank God we're talking about what we've been in spiritual and emotional poverty for so long. The topic's coming up over and over, and we want to blame the people instead of going, wait a minute, this is forcing me to talk about my heart or talk about my love of my health and my joy. Do I have joy running through my veins? Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the planets, which are helping you out with this. Y'all ready? All right, you're feeling this coming close right now. Okay. Planetary update. To add to this heart, coke, jabs, space, delusion, meds, drugs. Okay. Pisces on Sunday. So I know I'll see you on Monday, but Pisces on Sunday is a super new moon in Pisces. Okay. It's at 1 degree. And up to this point, this is the fourth of one more coming up, 5 moons that are at 1 degree of the sign. Remember, every constellation has 30 degrees, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way through 30, like 30 days of the zodiac. Okay. This is the fourth of the 5th moon that is at 1 degree, which means a new beginning, the start of something. Okay. So new beginnings are here, my friends. Okay. They're in the planets. Okay. Look where Pisces sits in your chart. If you know your own chart, to see where 1 degree sits, you'll see where you feel it the most. Okay. If you know your chart. So Sunday, the super new moon, it's called a super moon because it's closest in its orbit to Earth. So it's going to make you feel it stronger. Okay. So we're at whatever house also, if you know your chart, if you know what house the moon or Pisces sits in your chart, you're going to feel it in that house. Okay. So there's a lot of closure events happening in the planets, right? Because we're going from closure to new beginnings. And so Pisces is a super highly sensitive sign. It's a water sign. It can feel very overwhelming, this energy, when it comes up. You can have a lot of tears, emotions. Also, the negative frequency of Pisces rules lies. Ooh, lies about balloons, lies and deceits. The low frequency can also be felt like delusion, illusions, drugs of all kinds, jab drugs. Okay. You need to be open to this because it's coming up for a new beginning of what drugs used to be, the illusion and delusion, to the high frequency of a new beginning of Pisces. High frequency is it's connected to spirit, source, love, oneness, and God consciousness of our heart and our spiritual truth. Shocker that that's happening within this week. Is that cool? So this sign, you guys, can be seen as the bringing up of the lower frequencies that have been shown, you know, in drugs and illusions and film and putting up fake things on the screen. Oh, God forbid they would do that. You see it in TV all the time. It's what's happening on your digital screens, like the Wizard of Oz. What's shown to you is not really what's behind the screen. It's the Pisces delusion. It's pushing it up to a new beginning of saying there's a better way. And all this magical energy of Pisces new moon is a spiritual awakening on the ignition point at its very 1 degree beginning of creativity. Okay. So then we add 3 weeks later, Saturn is going to join and move into Pisces, causing us to learn our lessons of Pisces. And it's going to say Saturn is going to stay there for 2 years until 2026. Okay. And Pisces is our soul connection. Saturn wants, when it sits in Pisces, Saturn wants control. And it will try to shut down your soul with rules and structure. And this is how you get to God and source and consciousness and spirit. And wait, Pisces is going to go, no, we just flow like water. We go wherever we need to go to get it. Okay. So the powers that be, Saturn can rule government and structures and control and bossy kind of energy, right? Saturn wants to boss you disconnecting from your heart. And you're going to say, fuck you. Okay. Or you're going to allow your soul to be turned off. The higher consciousness of all this Piscean energy is a consciousness choice point. Your heart will be a big deal with all this movement of moving into truth consciousness. I get it, you're overwhelmed. Pisces also rules dreams. So those of you who aren't sleeping, I'm with you. I don't sleep much at all. I don't sleep normally, but I'm sleeping maybe 2-3 hours a night. And sometimes I have to take a mini nap. I never nap. It's screwing up your sleeping. Don't take it personal. I'm telling you, it's the energy shifting. Okay. So the next thing I want you guys to be aware of in the planetary shifts, okay, is that Saturn being at 29 degrees right now, it is moving on March 6th. So I think, is that like 3 weeks from now? It's about 3 weeks. So you're already feeling it. This stuff is so potent. It's so close. So Saturn is at 29 degrees of Aquarius. So it's at its anuretic last degree of that sign. And on the 6th, it moves into Pisces. Okay. Both Saturn and Pluto, okay, are both at their 29th degree. So you're feeling like something's happening. I got to end this. I got to change something. And you can feel leaving mind and thought, mind and thing space to heart and soul spirit space. That's what you're feeling. Okay. And because Saturn is at the last degree, that's why you're feeling it pushing into Pisces, screwing up our sleep. All right. It's okay. Roll with it because there's nothing wrong. The more you're being told to go like to your heart, and the more you're being told about your heart pain, oh, there's heart problems. Oh, there's myocarditis. Oh, there's blood clots. Oh, the heart doesn't work. Oh, there's inflammation. That's our hearts going, yes, you're absolutely right. I have been inflamed and sad and shut down and in pain for the entirety of this Earth's planet living. And I don't want to be in pain anymore. And now I want to wake up. That's what's happening. Okay. So the pain, when they're telling you this is normal, the more you know, the more you are meant to go inside and ask your heart, what is its desire? What do I want? What do I want to put in here? Do I want joy? It might take you breaking some old patterns and habits and belief systems. When people are telling you this is the truth, you go, it doesn't feel good. And it might hurt. And you might get scared the shit out of you. I don't care. Fight for truth, fight for love, fight for joy anyway. Okay. Then remember, I warned you guys also on March 23rd. So March is a huge month. Pluto goes into Aquarius. There's the truth again. So as Pluto prepares to enter into Aquarius in the next few weeks, be diligent with accountability for the best ways that you have been complicit in your own unhappiness and your own misery and your own lacking of joy and blocking up your heart space. Why do you think I have you tap your heart every freaking Monday? I'm praying, putting my love out there on all of you that you're all doing this all day long. But if you're not, Mondays are enough. Self-mastery will be your top priority moving forward in this new Earth frequency of love of your heart and love of truth. You guys got it? Do you get where I'm going with this? So everybody here, I am courage, I am love, I am truth. Again, I am love, I am courage, I am truth. Your challenge, I am committing to filling my heart with joy. And every time you look at a stupid balloon on the screen and you get nervous about it, that is not joy. You turn that shit off, because I guarantee you, no satellite in the universe is not seeing whatever they're seeing 10 hours before they saw it. So it's being brought to you to scare your heart. So your heart will go, wait a minute, does that feel right? I'm using a stupid balloon because it's stupid. You're watching it on a screen. You are nowhere near it. Trust that this is about your heart energy, my love. This is what it is. So I'm going to ask all of you to open up onto the Q&A tonight on the call, who's on the Zoom. If you know anyone who has had blood or heart issues, did it trigger you in some way? Right? Let's discuss this so you can dissolve your fears. Did it scare you? Okay. Did someone dreamt that their house was raided by the feds last night? And this is a Pisces, so she's getting ready for this new moon. There's a dream. So thank you. That is super funny. Our hearts, water, emotions flowing. I'm bringing this up because we want to make it about the jab. We want to make it about the heart. We want to make it about the blood. We want to make it about science. When the answer is, when you start seeking how to fill your heart and soul with love, you'll find solutions. You'll find clearings. You'll find questions. I'm going to go look at all the questions coming in 1 second. So anyone who knows people who has had struggles with anything with blood, doesn't even have to be from the jab. I'm just giving you heart issues, right? Anything that has to do with chest pain, chest constriction, heartburn. Okay, all this heart stuff is your hearts are freaking blasting, cracking open. Even if it's just a little crack in the glass, it's enough. It's enough for the energy to get in. Okay. All right. So let me see. There's a question up here. So if I'm going to be in a hospital environment and they require me to wear a mask, though we are in Arizona and I know it's not science, I am triggered. Okay. This is what my point is. Are you triggered by them because they're trying to control you? Are you going with your heart full of love because someone needs you? And energetically, you can write on the mask and you can put things on the mask and you can be in your heart space. And because science is saying no and you're fighting it, my point is there has to be a point where you can marry the two. Are you going to do something when you get out? Are you going to go in just long enough to be there when you need it and walk back out the door? You have to find a way to what makes your heart full of joy and still be able to do the things you want to do. If you didn't want to go, don't go, but you know it's not an acceptable option. So this is a really big deal. If that's triggering you, why? Because it's controlling. And this person doesn't want to be controlled because this person says no. She can still fight it, but then she's going to feel bad when she's putting pressure on someone who's going into surgery. So there's a certain point where you have to decide it's like getting on a plane. Would you be upset if we were still there and you had to get on a plane? And that was the only time I wore a mask. I never wore it anywhere else, ever. The whole time this whole thing happened, I never wore a mask, ever, except for on a plane because I had no choice. This is your moment of time and going, I'll do what they need. I don't need to buy into that. I will not let my heart, because your heart already is getting triggered from this question. I don't want to go there. Okay. So someone just said, I just met a girl who had a heart attack and she knew was told it was jab triggered and she was in her 40s. Okay. I want you guys to get off, which is amazing that she made it. She's alive. We're okay. I want you to get it off of the labels, whether it's children, whether it's adults, whether they're too young, too old, right or wrong. What I'm trying to share with you is this person's heart needed to get attention. So that's why it's happening, right? So that's what it's happening for her. I need you to understand we have to stop giving good and bad to things. We have to understand if someone took it and it did affect them that way, they're being asked to give their heart attention. You can detox it. I'll talk to you about that in a second. I'm going to load it up in the IDI club. Those of you who are not in the IDI club, those of you who are members, you just need to open up your email or open up the dashboard on ideserveitnow.com, IDI dashboard, and click on Daisy. And there's a healing house in there. And I will put all this stuff. If you know someone says, I didn't want to take it, or I took it and I didn't know better. I had no idea it was going to start affecting our heart and our blood. I had no idea this was going to happen. You don't have to. It's not bad. It just means it's asking you to pay attention to your heart. She was having to pay attention to her heart. Now you can go detox it. You can get it out. That means you're putting love into your heart. So let's please not put good and bad on these things. Let's not put good and bad on the things you're getting triggered with. My blood boils over. Someone's getting triggered by California license plates. So here again, your heart is not open to slowing down. That one is actually one of the funnier ones. Thank you, love, because that was so funny. So listen to all of yourselves. I want you to hear this. This is you not being open to filling they're so focused outside of themselves for a license plate that someone else is messing up their life that they're missing the fact that they need to take care of themselves. Okay, so someone else said, I agree, California and Washington plates. Yeah, well, I have a home in Washington, so I have to live there, and it's not about the people. It's about putting yourself in an environment and still filling yourself with love and joy. I cannot stress enough of this. I have no judgment on love of whether you are someone who likes what I like or don't like what I like, who says, oh, it's this or that. You have to understand you have been set up in a system. My friends, you've been set up in a system from birth. The second you popped out of your mama, I mean, seconds of popping out of your mama, you were put on a grading system by some boxed institution. Please listen to me. You were given an APGAR test, a hearing test, a weight test to see if you were good enough to be one of the good babies, because the babies who are slow and don't give a shit, taking their time to wake up and come to this crazy world, they got low tests. And they said, we got to run more tests. Something's wrong with your baby. You were tested from day fucking one and given a label and a number and a grade, F to A. So nothing has changed until today. And I'm telling you, put energy in your heart, because you are all fucking awesome A's. All of you. I don't care what city, what state you've come from. You are just told that this is how it is, and you believed them. And I'm telling you, stop believing outside what you believe. See here, even license plates. Please, you have to understand that your heart is all that matters. And every time everybody gets triggered by things these days, I remind myself to wrap myself around love, that person or myself, God loves us. Yes. And I want you to not get even disconnected in the external God. God is inside of your heart and soul. So it's in you to go, wow, that must be really sad that that person got the jab, that this gal had a heart attack. And poor thing, she must have gone through a lot of trauma. But my goodness, she's been talking about her heart quite a bit. So she must be bringing a lot of attention to it, which means there's a lot of energy going into her heart. You have an entire globe talking about hearts and blood right now. So I don't care if you talk negative about it. You're still talking about love, because hearts rule love. I know you're not, Jamie. I was just using your example because it was helpful. And so I want you guys to open your hearts and minds right now to understand what is happening. When you are being opened up, I don't care what the topic is, it's forcing you to talk about something energetically, not physically, not technically, not the thought pattern that you were taught to. Energetically, are we all being asked to talk about blood? I never thought I would see the day, and I was like, wow, this is freaking amazing. And so if any of you follow Louise Hay, all of you who are on the Truth Tribe members, all of you on here have access. Just go into the IDI dashboard, and in the books, I have a lot of Louise Hay books in there. And at the book back, she'll tell you about blood disorders and energetically what they mean. And guess what the topic is? Joy. Lacking joy in your life. So I never thought, to be honest with you, in my lifetime we would get here. When we did, it breaks my heart that it's taking you all painful experiences to wake up to it, or sickness or chest pain or heartburn or whatever, right? But it's waking us up to it. And that's okay. Because the more love you put back into you, self-help, self-care, energetic healing, emotional healing, naturopathic healing, there are natural herbs I'm going to put into the healing hub or the healing house, and it's sitting in the IDI club. So those of you go on ideserveitnow.com, okay, all of you are members, you're going to go on to the IDI dashboard at the top. You're going to, oh, Dawn said there's Daisy. You're going to go into the IDI club, and I'm going to put in all the content in there. If anyone needs to detox, there will be a little note in there. Okay. It's a list that's from doctors. So it's science driven, of how to detox all the toxins that might be affecting your heart. That means you doing energy, you putting supplements, you taking little things here and there that will help you, puts energy into your soul and brings you love and joy. We gave up so much power and so much of our energy in the past that we didn't realize we gave up our heart and soul's power. That's it. Okay. So, let's see. It says, so again, I just overrode this question. Can you explain when you said you can undo the jab? Yes, you can undo the jab. You can do, okay, let me be very clear about this, my friends. You can do undo anything in your life, no matter what it is, if you want an intentional strength towards it and find more a loving path to get what you want. Okay, so I want to be very clear. It's going to require you to lick the curb, as I've discussed in several calls, okay, of healing. It will require you to take lots of natural supplements, of natural baths, to do frequency shifts, to do meditations, to get all the energy to push it back into your heart. But it works. Slower than you like. You'll want to jab and you want to be over with it, move on to your robot lives. It's not going to happen anymore. Those buttons are being pushed to get your heart open. Okay. So yes, you can undo not just the jab, any disease, any energy, anything any doctor tells you no, this included, you're going to have myocarditis the rest of your life. Fuck off. No, I'm not, is what I want you to tell the doctor. Okay. And I will send you to some tons of, naturopaths and all the energy grid lines that I have that helps you with all these different ways to do it, or don't. You can do it yourself or you can get help. But my point is, people have been asking me, so I put it into the healing. I will put it in the healing house. But it is up to you to want out of the muddied heart energy. And up to this point in life, we have had spiritual and emotional poverty, which means our hearts have gotten muddy. And remember last week, if you didn't watch it, go re-listen to the replay of last week. We talked about that you've kind of been a little busy beaver putting little, stems and wood and rocks and everything onto the dam to block your heart, to protect it. And it wasn't doing it any good. So when you enter the IDI club, I will go and put a protocol for clearing jab toxins. But it's a natural protocol that basically clears every toxin. Okay. So I'll try to get in there by tomorrow for all of you that this person's asking, if that's what you're wanting it for. I did the same thing, but I had heavy metal all through my body because I had so much dental work, which was absolutely found now to be very unhealthy for you. So there's not one thing. Blame your teeth, blame the mercury in your mouth, blame the jab, blame any metal. It's all healing. And your goal is to heal the heart. Okay. Let's see. It's not a one-time thing. It is not a one-time thing. It takes effort and consistency because you want it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Does anyone want to speak to Hear Dawn every day? I literally have had a meltdown over the weekend and cried today. And I kept saying, this is bullshit. Good girl. Keep saying this is bullshit, because it is bullshit. What you're feeling, all of you, including her, is I would love to share. I'm going to be on almost every day. Tomorrow, like I said, I'm sharing a Valentine with you. It's a video that I'm putting on Instagram. Go check that. Wednesday I'm going to start doing live lunch with Dawn. Okay. So I'm going to do love live lunch, and I'm going to talk about love on Wednesdays. So you'll see me again. But your meltdown is because of this. You all didn't know your hearts were blocked. You all didn't know you were in spiritual poverty. And if you have a whole globe talking about love, and if you just say the word heart, you wouldn't say problems with the heart. You're still talking about love. And love is a 500 frequency on the frequency scale. And we had to get above 200. Now, if you're down in 80 and 50 and 70 and 90 and 100, and you've been living there for so long, as I've taught you guys before, it's a very low weighted energy. So talking about hearts and healing hearts and fixing hearts, that's the difference. Okay. 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 Can you, I don't know, let's see, what does this say here? Let me make sure I'm reading this right. So you're saying if people are dying from heart attacks from the jab, it's just energy. Okay. Okay, guys, I want you all to understand this. When your exit point is on the map, it doesn't matter if it's from a jab or you step off the curb and you get hit by a bus. You and God made this plan. So I just need you to understand nothing is an accident. Okay. B, sadly, no one wants anyone to die. We don't. We love people. I love people. You all love people. Yet there is enough attention. Okay. If enough attention on a topic, if it doesn't go there, and we don't call you all to it, we don't go, well, Dawn told us that we're kind of taking toxins in and maybe some things aren't good for us and we should really look at different things in different ways, but it's just Dawn. You wouldn't really believe me. I guarantee you, because we've been programmed for millions of years. Okay. from top-down box controlled indoctrination thinking. Okay, now we've moved into heart, spirit, truth, quantum thinking, okay, which is nothing to do with anyone telling us what the fuck we have to do. Okay, so if you don't get attention talking about heart and love, right, the energy becomes healing. Whether they're injured or they have passed away from it, these people are your freedom warriors. As scary and hard as this is to wrap your brain around, these are your freedom spiritual warriors. They are bringing freedom to go, holy shit, we need to talk about heart. We need to talk about blood. So you're now focusing on how to free your hearts and to fill them up with love. We're having a discussion. You're going to go tell everyone you know. You don't have to tell them what to do, undo, don't do. You don't have to tell them any of that. You just have to fill your heart up. So a huge part of the population, think of it this way, watched football last night, okay? Or a version of it, or the middle of it, the show, the middle show, right? This is not new. Think back to ancient Rome, right? The crowd would gather to see the gladiators win or lose, F or A, failure or awesome. It's always been a label and a numbers game. And we have switched the game now, okay? Now you have an opportunity to stop focusing on the external game, i.e. license plates, Missy, all these Missies, for, or an entertainment game or external games, or it's their fault, or balloons bullshit, or jab bullshit, or doctor bullshit. Not all doctors, I told you, are bad, and not all doctors are good. Not all lawyers are bad. Not all lawyers are good. Not all salespeople are bad. Not all salespeople are good. Not all healers are bad, and not all healers are good. It's the same. Not all teachers are bad, and not all teachers are good. It's the same thing. Get off of they and get into you, okay? So we have to stop focusing on that external game for entertainment purposes and pour all that attention you put into outside. How much energy you guys got ready? You got appetizers ready. You got food ready. You sent out texts. You guys are going to come over. You brought everyone together with love. Now it's time to put all that attention into you and doing the same thing and bringing joy into you. What brings you to life? Can you do the same party you did yesterday, but with fun and love and joy, and stop getting mad at people? This black and white, blue and orange, you're this, you're that bullshit. You've been programmed to see it that way as win or lose, F or A. I think it's hilarious. African Americans fighting with white people and brown people, and white people, this is the funniest part. You all walk around. I want to be brown. I go in the sun. I want to feel tan. I want to look like a brown person. It's ridiculous because we all love each other. We all see the beauty in them that we don't have in ourselves. And we go, God, you're so beautiful. And the other person goes, oh, your brain's so smart. The other person's like, your body's so smart and beautiful. We see the beauty in others. We're just not allowed to talk about it. Well, fuck off to the boxes. Okay? And fuck off to the jab, and fuck off to the toxins and all the people trying to control you. Fill your heart up and then share that love with everyone you know. I don't care what color they are. I don't care where they come from. I don't even care if they come from California. Find the beauty in your heart so that they know how to adapt, because they don't know. And if you're being mean to them, you need love, period. Got it? Okay, sorry. I went on a little tangent there. But you guys have to start waking up to this, okay? You have to start seeing truth will come out. Aquarius is not going to let any of you miss it. So those of you who got caught in some of the programming, I don't blame you. Some of it, I was like, whoa, God, this is crazy. And then I was like, wait. When I now tap into everything from my heart, right? Does this feel loving? It feels stupid. It doesn't even feel wrong or bad. It feels stupid. Right? Like, oh my gosh, that's so stupid. Why would I even go there? That doesn't love my heart. Okay. All right, my friends. Again, all of you on here, you're all Truth Tribe members, whether you're in the Truth Tribe or you're the Warrior Pass. You all have access to the IDI Club. If you want the info, I'm going to put it into the dashboards as well as the IDI Club, which is a lot easier because when you open it, you open Daisy, you'll see on the left-hand side, Healing House. I'm going to start putting all the healing stuff in there. Okay. I want you guys to start talking. I do have still the February challenge in there of, committing to love, which is why it's here. I want you to all know that there's nothing wrong with you, nothing you've taken or not taken, or feel guilty about doing or not doing, or feeling guilty about putting something on you that you don't want to do. Do it from your heart and ask yourself, do you give a shit about anyone around you? Go because your heart knows what it needs. Find that, okay? Remember, we have to start welcoming in tech. That's what the future is. And so the new tech is this IDI Club, which is the new Facebook that I'm going to move us eventually. I'm going to do it slow, so don't worry. I'm not pushing you guys fast. I'm going to move it slow, but this is our new Facebook, and I'm launching us to the next level of our game. I'm not playing small anymore. I'm tired of Facebook censoring me. They do it all the time. I shouldn't say they don't censor me. They shadow ban me. So like 15 of you see this on after it's over, which is fine. I'll take it off. Only the replay is allowed for those of you who are Truth Tribe members, which again, start inviting your friends. They don't have to sign up for the big membership, which is $29 a month. It's 99 cents a month, my friends. I haven't loaded up the $12 for the year just because I keep forgetting. I apologize. I will get it there. I've been so busy. But my point is to listen to the replay and all this content. I'm not giving it away for free. You're all worth more than free. You are not free. You are not living by people telling you it's free school and it's free this and it's free money. It's all fucking free. You are not free. You are all valuable, amazing, beautiful people, and it is time to raise your bars. Okay? So you have any questions about the IDI Club, you have any questions about healing, go into there. We will be able to IM each other back and forth in the IDI Club. That's where you'll find me. Okay? Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I love you. Oh, wait. Happy Valentine's Day tomorrow. I want you all to listen to the Instagram that I'm going to post tomorrow live, a mini video, because I'm giving you a challenge to wish everybody you meet for the rest of the year, happy Valentine's Day, and see what happens to them. They'll all smile and they'll literally change their frequency of love. Okay. So happy Valentine's Day. I love you all. Brightest blessings. And I'll see you on Monday. Enjoy the full moon or the new moon on Saturday and Sunday. And Pisces, don't get too emotional. If the emotions are coming out, it's from the moon trying to wake you up to go, you're a spiritual badass. I love you all. Have a good night.